Okay, let's get started there, folks. It is 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strange Bro Jim, and today we are going to be getting back into some uh, studying for Pega. If you don't already know, I've been studying for the System Architect certification. I'm going to be going through all of the modules and um, um, all the modules leading up to System Architect. There's also the Business Architect that follows the System Architect quite a bit. So we may do that as well. There's like maybe two modules separate. Um, well, I mean, after the two missions that are, um, quite prevalent in the System Architect, there's also two additional modules in the Business Architect. Um, there's a lot more in System Architect, but uh, Business will just have like the two modules after the two missions. Um, so we're going to be covering, um, you know, I'm going to try to do, well, I'm going to be working on, getting through what's necessary, the everything in the System Architect, working on the quizzes, trying to memorize everything that's in there, and um, eventually taking the certification for System Architect. So I will have a certificate that I can prove to, you know, anybody that asks, like if I'm applying for a Pega System Architect job, I'll be able to say, no, I really do have a certificate. I can't do that right now, even though I have been trained in Pega. I don't have the certification yet, so I'm working on that. Hopefully, you'll join me in that. Join me as I continue along that path to get to that point. Um, after my training, and well, I put the training in quotes because I didn't really, me and a lot of other trainees really had issues with the trainer. But, uh, you know, I'm happy that, those that were within my particular batch were able to, pass their certification. I did not. I couldn't get to, um, last time I took the certification, I missed like 6 questions. Uh, you know, from the minimum that I needed to pass it. So, um, what really irritated me about the certification was the fact that there was a lot of 7.0 content in the certification, and our trainer didn't really say anything about 7.0. So yeah, it was kind of a frustrating time. Um, now you know, people can basically go to me and say, well, why didn't you try to take it afterwards? Well, I was, busy with, um, trying to integrate with, the team that was put on, and um, I was kind of hoping that I could get, some mentorship in a sense from them, but um, I mean, they were busy. And my attempts to try to, figure out something didn't really work very well. So I kept on putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and well, I'm here now. I'm on furlough. I don't really have a job right at this moment in time. So, I'm gonna attempt again to work my way to study to get to that certification. So, like I said, I hope that you will join me on this venture. Um, you're welcome to join me. Even uh, if you want, you can hop in my Discord if you want to just chat with me about, what I'm covering. That's an option if you're interested in doing that. Um, but we're gonna focus, on Pega. So if you're coming into my voice chat and wanted to talk to me about other things like, what's going on in the world right now or gaming or something along those lines, then I'm probably going to have to say, yeah, no, let's not do that. I want to kind of focus on this for the most part. So I don't want to go, believe me, I go on tangents quite a bit. So I want to try to get this certification. So, you know, let's focus on the certification for this first hour, and then we can go into tangents afterwards. So, okay. Everything looks all set up and ready to go. Uh, so let's get started on this. Supposedly it takes 20 minutes. It'll probably take longer. I'm probably going to push it even longer because I mentioned the fact that I wanted to, um, in the previous, when I was talking about case status, it didn't really go through all the possibilities of the case status. So um, I want to try to go through, you know, um, I want to see what happens to the case status when I'm going through like in different steps, different stages. So, um, what happens here, what happens there. I don't think this challenge might cover enough. So that's why I'm probably going to push this a little bit more. So, scenario is after reviewing the process on the service request case development, the MyTown mayor and the service coordinator see additional areas for improvement and request the following changes. The schedule repair and perform repair steps should display instructions and certify the case status. The service request case is resolved automatically when the resolution stage is complete. The resolution stage should reflect the resolved case status. The mayor and services coordinator provide the following table of the desired case statuses and instructions. Okay, so the step, what the status should have, and any instruction that you want to include on said step. So, same for that. We have a stage here, so obviously no instruction, and they want to have the result completed there. So the following table provides the credentials you need to complete this challenge. There's the credentials. So we need to initiate the instance. Once again, we have this video for like a step-by-step um, process through this challenge. But once again, we're not going to cover that. We're going to go step by step through what they give us here. Try to follow it to the letter and see if it comes out with the same results. We tried this with the last challenge, and we already encountered some changes. Apparently, when I'm entering a value and hitting enter, it created another process afterwards. So I guess they weren't really expecting that. I don't know why. That would be something that would be common, one would think, but hard to say. Hitting the enter or tab button, you would think would, um, is a common keyboard entry to confirm what you just modified. Um, I mean, you can still try to click out. Um, like if you're like changing if you're changing something, like if you're changing a file name, um, sometimes clicking away from it will keep keep the change. Maybe. I don't know. I've seen where it will revert back to the previous, you know, before the edit because you didn't actually confirm the change. So I don't know. That's all. Okay, so it looks like the instance is ready, and I can see that we are still, uh, it's showing the instance there, so that's awesome. Okay, so username is here. There we go. And then we have the password. There we go. Logging in. Okay, once again, here we are back at the overview. Um, Now, bear in mind, when I go to case types here, um, the what we are going to see in the case types is what they have. Okay. Uh, you know, the changes that I made in the last challenge, they're gone. As you can see, there's no two case types here. Remember when I made the new one and I did, request service? Yeah, that's gone. So this is just reaffirming the fact that these instances are not saved or anything along those lines. We're not continuing from a previous instance or anything along those lines. They are their own unique snippets of code that they do for on these challenges. So, okay. So first thing that we need to do is, we in the App Studio navigation page, click case types, which we have, and service request to display the service request case lifecycle. So now we're going inside the case type here. Okay. Loading, 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 loading. Also, note the fact that up here, they're showing the 6 errors, right? But that wasn't the case with what we had. We had 8 errors because it included 2 additional processes. So, so just bear that in mind. Plus, we had added in all the personas and data, in the case lifecycle. So the fact that it didn't include those personas and channels is showing the fact that this is something separate from that first case case lifecycle that we did on the last challenge. So in the service request case lifecycle review stage, click the schedule repair step to set the case status and add instructions in the property pane on the right. So we are basically modifying each one of these. So, but I want to make sure that I do these step by steps. You know, I could look at this table and do everything here if I really wanted to, but let's try to keep to those step by steps. So if there's ever a step that doesn't really work, we can contact them and say, hey, this particular step failed because of this reason or something along those lines. So okay, so um, click the schedule repair step and set the case status and add instructions on the property pane on the right. So we want the schedule repair. There we go. Okay, so we want to set the case status and add instructions. So in the General tab of the Property pane, set the Set Case Status field, enter or select Open to set the case status when the case enters the Schedule Repair step. So um, there we go. We want it open. Okay. In the Instructions for User field, enter assign a due date for the issue. There we go. Okay, so that's for the scheduled repair. So when entering an instruction, do not end the instruction with a period. Add a period to the instruction text causes an error when processing a case. To avoid the error, add double quote marks to the beginning and end of an instruction that includes a period. So if I want to, if I add a period here, that causes an issue. But if I do something like that, then it's perfectly fine. So just bear that in mind if you're ever doing anything, like adding instructions or whatnot. So okay, so that completes this portion here, and it looks the same. So we're going to move on. In the case lifecycle resolution stage, click the Perform Repair step to set the case status and add instructions in the property pane on the right. Okay, so we're going to go to this step here. Now that clears out the case status and instructions because we're on a new step. If I go back to the step here, there's the old case status and instructions. So we know that that's been set. So um, set the case status and add instructions in the property pane on the right. In the General tab of the property pane, in the Set Case Status field, enter pending fulfillment to set the case status when the case enters Perform Repair step. So here, put pending fulfillment. There we go. In the instructions for user field, enter perform and document the repair. There we go. So that's what we have here. Same, same as this. So we're good there. Click the resolution stage to verify the case status in the property pane on the right. In the resolution status field, confirm that result completed is selected. So we're going to go up to here to the stage. And you can see that it's result completed in the resolution status here. So, that is true. It's complete. So we are good to go. Click Save to complete the configuration of case status settings in the case lifecycle. So we're just going to go ahead and save. We didn't add much on here, and to be honest, I think they could have done more. Um, they could have added um, a lot more to this particular setting case status because um, you don't know um, uh, it doesn't show all the possibilities of the setting case status. So um, we'll get to that though. So confirm your work. In the upper right, in the upper right, click Save and Run to run a new instance of the case type. The system displays a new service request case. So we're all done with this. So we're going to do the save and run. Continue working on this portion of things. In the new case service, in the new service request case, verify the system displays the report problem step and click No advance the case to continue the case and move to the identify location step. Click No, click No uh, to move to the review stage. That's what we're that's what we want to do. We want to get to that review stage. In the schedule repair step, verify the system displays the instructions and ensure that the case status is displayed as open. So we want to do no here, no there, and no there. So now it should be going on to the second stage with the first, the only step that's really there, to be honest. Um, so we should be seeing open for the status and instructions. Okay, so status is indeed open, so we're good there. And we see assign a due date for the issue. So um, we can confirm that that is indeed what we want to see. Um, so we have these right there. So we just want to click no to continue with the next step. So now this should um, yeah, that should put us in the resolution. I see the pending fulfillment over here. So perform repair step, verify the system displays the instructions, and ensure the case status is displayed as pending fulfillment. So perform and document the repair, perform repair, and pending fulfillment. I'm not seeing the instructions. The instructions did not save here, so that's a problem. Um, no advance the case. Review repair step is displayed. Click approve. And then it should go to resolved completed here, and it should be done with the resolution. So we have a problem with our perform repair. It did not save the perform and document the repair step there. So we have some issues with what we have here. So under the perform and repair, our instructions are there. So we're seeing some issues going on here. Not sure what the heck happened there. Let's do another 7 run and see what's going on here. So no one advanced the case. I see open, which is correct. Assign a due date for the issue. That's correct for the review. Everything looks good there. We advance the case. And once again, no instructions. Hmm. It's not showing the perform document repair. That's a problem. Not sure what's going on there. Um, I mean, it's there. We have the pending fulfillment. It's just not showing up, which is interesting. Not sure what's going on there. Um, Let me go ahead and do and before we, do any kind of modifications or anything like that, I'm going to do the verify challenge and see if it will say, hey, no, you did it right. We'll see. Yeah, okay, so, they approved of my challenge, so that has been completed. Okay. Um, so now, what we're going to do is, um, we need to um, address the fact that our challenge wound up on not displaying the um, the pending here. So what I want to do is I want to take some screenshots of this so that I can add them into the um, so that I can add it to the issue at hand. So okay, and we're doing a save and run. Once again, here we go. Save that. Alright. Okay, so I can't add both of them in at the same time. Well, that's one file. Oh, geez, come on, really? Okay, well, let me try to maybe edit them both together somehow. Okay. Um, I got a phone call coming in here, folks, that I have to take. I'll be right back. There we go. Sorry about the wait there, folks. You know, I've been trying to deal with unemployment lately, and the I've had some issues with unemployment, so that was them. So, or at least you know, I've been trying to clear up some issues. So it's a mess. It's a mess right at the moment. Um, but everything looks like it's I there's not going to be any problems that I might kind of face. You know, I'll discuss it later. Um, okay. Um, so I need to get these images into like a single image because I don't want them coming at me saying, "Hey, you didn't put in the um, you didn't put in the document repair or something along those lines." And I don't want them um, uh, having that kind of um, I don't want them thinking that the um, okay, and I get one where I can copy the image here. Okay, copy that. Bigger window here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Let's see, smaller. Hmm, there we are. That should be better. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and save this. NG as that. Let me make sure that everything got saved correctly because I want to save that work. Don't need it. Don't need the snipping tool. Alright, so I was able to combine both of them, so that's awesome. Alright. Um, okay. Um, put in instructions for user for the step perform repair. However, the instructions are not shown when uh, when running base type. Um, image provided clipping both the step and instructions and run of the base type. Um, tried multiple attempts to figure out why instructions were not showing. As you see with SR3. Um, not sure why this step isn't showing instructions when it's a review step add instructions. Um, let me know if you need more information. I'm currently recording my progress, so can send you link to video afterwards as well. Uh, okay, so again, not sure um, why the perform and document the repair is not showing up whatsoever. Um, you know, you, as you can clearly see, I have the instructions there. I'll go ahead and save it again, even though save and run is saving it anyway, so we're no advancing the case. We can see we're on review. We see the instructions. We see the open there. No to advance the case. And once again, there's no instructions here. It's not even highlighting um, there at all. So um, so that's why it's quite confusing in this particular case because well let me run it again because um, you know here if I highlight you can see that even the instructions are being highlighted as well. So um, but yet here you know it's not like a matter of like hidden font or color, different like color for the fonts or something like that. It's just the instructions are not being shown at all on this particular step whatsoever. Um, so yeah, not sure what's going on there. Um, all right, well, let me go ahead and try to do some additional steps here. Um, so uh, we're gonna add a new collect information on here. We're gonna modify this to see what else can you do, right? So um, view step 2, and then we're gonna do another collection here and do review step 3, and we are going to change the status here because I want to have here we had it set to open, right? So let's do pending. Um, and let's put in some more instructions like blah blah blah. Okay. Let me go ahead and change the instructions here. Um, Rah, rah, rah. So, um, so we can see um, one of the things that I want to see is will it, um, you know, uh, will we have will um, the instructions are per step. So once you get past that step, it's not gonna, like for example over here, um, if I do, um, yeah, okay, um, it's not gonna carry those instructions over to the next collection step or anything along those lines. Okay. What I want to see here is the fact that the case status is open on this particular step. It should remain open here because I'm not changing it. So the case status should still remain open. One more thing. And then here it should change to pending. Um, now, um, let me see. Um, one of the things that I want to do is I want to create um, create another, like a parallel process here. Um, okay. Um, let's see. Hmm. Let's not get into that just yet. I don't want to confuse anybody along those lines. Okay. I don't know. Hmm. I wanted to try to look into setting up like a parallel process on that, but um, yeah, there we go. New process, parallel. We'll leave it at review 2. We are going to go ahead and change this case status to pending approval, and we're going to do um, approval. I wanna see what happens with the um with like the instructions and all that kind of jazz. Um, Another thing that I want to do is let's change our status up here. Um, let's do in build just for the heck of it. Now, one of the things that I want to check on this is um, our status here is open. Does it go to in build for the stage? Does it stay to open? Um, you know, does it when you go to the parallel process will it go back to in build or will it, go to pending approval? You know, um, I want to kind of see what's going on here. So we're gonna go ahead and do a save and run. Now, I thought the report problem had some instructions, but it's not showing those instructions right at this moment in time. So that's not great. Um, didn't add any instructions to these other two, so not much I can really do about that. So, not sure what's going on there. That's not great. Um, okay, it skipped straight to the review 2 for the parallel. Sure. We can see that it's approval and pending approval, so that's good. So um, we can now advance the case. Um, Okay, so we're still in the review. It went to the schedule repair, assign a due date for the issue repair pending approval. But wait, um, that's not the same status though. Okay, review step 2, same pending approval. It goes to pending. Hmm. But no instructions on review step 3. And now we go to the resolution, perform repair, fulfillment, no instructions. So we have a couple issues here that I'm seeing. Um, First off, it goes straight to the parallel first. It skips to this step first before it goes to, it goes to this process first before it goes to this process. So that's interesting. Um, so that's something to remember for later, in terms of how um, the stage is organized. Now, um, I mean, I can try to configure the process, but that's only for like it's only kind of showing the steps there. I don't know if I can show, um, hmm, yeah, I'm not really seeing a means to find out, how does it, you know, uh, judge, which process gets worked on first, you know, but that might be something that's covered more in the Dev Studio than anything else. So, um, you might be able to try to in the Dev Studio try to figure out, um, which process do you want to go first and all that kind of jazz. Um, the um, the statuses though are interesting because it appears as though there's some amount of hierarchy in terms of what a case status can be displayed. For example, um, here you have the case status set to open. Now, um, because it went here and set it directly to pending approval first, it stayed there, stayed on that pending approval, even when coming back to this particular step when the case status should be set to open. So, um, so when you clear that out, you can kind of see it looks as though there's some kind of hierarchy here, or there's multiple here that I could choose from, but it seems as though there's some form of hierarchy within that. So the pending completed like outweighs the open. So that was interesting. Now, when it got to step 3, it changed it to pending. So as though pending had more weight than pending approval. So so not sure what was going on there. It wasn't showing um, some of the instructions that I was giving there. It wasn't showing the instructions that I gave here. So, not sure what's going on there. Um, it seems like there's, uh, it seems like the, um, either A, the instance here doesn't know how to handle like instructions in the create, which is a problem. They probably should fix that. Um, well, I mean, f first off, they really should expand um, on the instructions and the case status in this challenge. They really should expand upon it because what they covered was minimum at best. Um, they really need to kind of expand upon this. Give us a parallel, give us, multiple steps, change the case status between the steps, have multiple different instructions there. Give us some instructions the the create. Um, you know, um, there isn't any um, there isn't any instructions, for the automated step or anything along those lines. Um, so nothing you can do there. Um, let's see, was there? Yeah, I don't think there's anything here. Okay, so there's a set status here as well. So, um, they could have done a set status for, approving, you know. Like here you have the pending fulfillment and you have the resolved completed. Um, what you could have done here was, change this to um, um, let's see, or maybe not resolved completed because that's what the resolution is all about as well. There isn't really any kind of resolved proved. Um, they could probably do like a completed there, maybe. Yeah, they could do something like that, maybe. So when you do the save and run, no instructions. Oops. Get that, bring that back up here. No instructions. So they need to add instructions here into these views, otherwise, it's not going to show anything there. It skips to the second process, which is interesting. Pending approval. Then it goes into the second, the first, process there. Stays with the pending approval, so the open, nothing happened. There's no open. It doesn't change the open at all. So that's why I'm saying that there's a hierarchy on the statuses. So they should really address that. If they're um, because what they gave, you know, in the previous module, I don't think they talked about that at all. So they really should address that. pending approval. No, actually there were instructions here, so that's a problem. That wasn't included. Same with step three. There should have been instructions there. We're now in the resolution, no instructions. Now we're still in the pending fulfillment. It doesn't get changed yet until we hit the approve. Um, and it goes directly to the resolved completed there. So, so even this right here with the flow, setting this, setting the status, it gets ignored. So, all right, well, that's gonna be it for this video. I need to use the restroom. Um, but we're gonna close on down. We're gonna move on to other um, handling the um, uploading videos and the like. So um, I'm gonna go ahead and be right back and stop the recording. So take care, everybody. Um, you know, be right back for those of you watching on Twitch. So.